Hey y'all, Gary Pierce here with Pure Funding Mortgage in our new office in Weatherford, Texas.
I'm Willis Richardson.
Hey, we're here to talk a little bit today about what you need to do to get ready to get a loan, right? Everybody loves to go shopping. They want to search the internet for their house and everything, but there's some things that really should be done on the front end, right? That get you prepared to do that. And it's going to make your life and your realtor's job a lot easier if you'll do a few of these steps. So Willis is going to kind of walk us through, kind of what some of the top maybe handful of things a consumer can do to get prepared to go shopping for a loan. So Willis, why don't you give us your kind of top 5 things?
Yeah, so the first thing would be is kind of know your timetable. And the reason that plays into all of this is that one of the first things you need to do is get your credit checked. You have to know where you're at. If you're more than 90 days away from purchasing a house, go to a site like Credit Karma. It's not going to be exactly accurate, but it will be directionally correct. If your credit's below 580 on that, or even below 600 on Credit Karma, you probably want to get with somebody, start working on your credit to get that up. It's going to give you lower closing costs and better rates. Now, if you're within 90 days, a credit report lasts for 90 days. So what we can do is you can fill out an application, get that credit checked, and it will be a hard credit pull. That doesn't have long-lasting effects if you don't move forward with a house. If you move forward with the house, your score will go back. It's not a forever hit to your score. But yeah, you want to get that credit check because you want to know where you're at because it affects so much.
Yeah, you can also go to, there is a website out there called annualcreditreport.com. It's another good website to go check out for looking at your credit score, kind of what's on your credit. If there's any, sometimes medical collections pop up that are unknown that you don't know about. So it's always good to kind of have an idea. So let's say, somebody goes out, they get their credit report and they've got some bills they need to address. What's your suggestion on that, like current debts that they have?
Yeah, so what you want to look at is there's a couple different kinds of debts. One of them is, you said it, medical collection. If you have any of those, pay them off, especially if they're small. They will significantly impact a credit score. Another thing that you can do to prepare for buying a house so that you can get the most out of your purchase power is to pay off any installment debts. Now, when I say pay off, you don't have to pay the entire loan off. Neat thing about an installment debt is that if you have less than 10 payments, we can actually omit that payment. So if your monthly payment's $700, you just have to pay that debt down to $7,000. 10 more payments, we get to omit it. So it won't even affect your debt to income ratio. You also want to pay down any credit cards that you've maxed out. Get it down below 50% of your total credit limit will also help your credit score.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And we also do have a really cool credit program that you can check out. If you go through the credit repair program, we'll also reimburse at closing up to $500 of that program. So that's another great way to kind of help your score. Reach out to us if you have any questions on that. We get a lot of questions too on, what do I need from a down payment perspective? Where can that come from? Is there the idea of a gift, if that works? Talk to us a little bit about down payments and that sort of thing.
So the biggest misconception is a lot of people think if you do a conventional loan, you have to put 20% down. That's not the case. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can put as little as 3% down on a conventional loan, which is less than an FHA loan. You do have to qualify conventionally for that loan. Traditionally, the minimum down payment for somebody buying their second, third, fourth home is 5%. So that's your minimum down payment. So you want to make sure you get that together. If you're going FHA, you only have to get 3.5% down. And so now your down payment has to come from funds that we source, meaning you have to have had those funds in your account for at least 2 months. They can come from a gift from a family member, not a friend, not a coworker, a family member, right? So if that gift comes from a family member, we're going to have to source 2 months of where that money was with them. So the reason we do that is that, we want to make sure that the funds didn't come and are trying to be laundered in some way. So the government wants to make sure those funds have been accounted for in a bank account somewhere. We can't use mattress money. I'm glad you have mattress money. Maybe you have it buried in gold in buckets in the backyard. That's cool for you. We can't use it though. So just make sure the funds are in a bank.
I think the biggest thing at this point too is, once you've kind of gone through the process and you've hit the check boxes, you really do need to get with a lender, right, at this point. Even before you're hitting Zillow wide open trying to find your dream home, you really do need to sit down with somebody like Willis, myself, and really work through what you do qualify. There's a lot of things in today's market that have made home buying trickier. Not that we can't get deals done because of where rates are, but there are things that we need to know, and we've got other programs to help with. So we always, get with a good lender and get pre-approved, because that's gonna give your realtor that kind of horsepower when they go to make that offer. So talk to us a little bit about how we work with the real estate agents and in conjunction with the pre-approval and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so a pre-approval is really important. You don't want to be looking at $600,000 houses when you're pre-approved for $300,000. It lets you down. It shows you a price range where you're loving everything you're seeing, but then you can't qualify for that home. You want to be able to look in the price range that you qualify for and find the best home there. If you spend weeks on end going and looking at $600,000 homes, but you qualify for $250,000, all that time was wasted, and you might have missed out on a really good house that was selling for $250,000. So the pre-approval process looks something like this. You basically go in, you fill out an application. You can go to our website and click the Apply Today button. You can give me a call or Gary a call. You can, and we can send you a link so that you can start filling out that application. The application takes about 5 to 10 minutes to fill out. We're going to be looking at 2 years of work history, 2 years of living history, and your assets. And based on those, then we can come and figure out what your debt to income ratio is. And that's the amount of debt you have versus the amount of income you have coming in every month. Right. And that's the biggest factor in you being approved for a certain loan amount. So that's the first place to really start once you're really, really serious, because then we can look at different products that we have to help you out. We can look at different strategies. We have a lot of different levers that we can pull to really help you get into a place. But we have to start with that application so we know the numbers that we're actually looking at.
Yeah. And it's definitely a team effort as well. So when you're thinking about it, it's yourself, the lender, the real estate agent, and we work hand in hand with all our real estate agents to make sure we get to that point where, like Willis is saying, be strategic about the offers, whether we're talking about, hey, we need to come in, above asking price, or we're going to ask for seller credits, how that impacts the loan and impacts the ability, our cash to close numbers and those sorts of items. So it's super important that we're all on the same page, working together, and in that case, when you're out shopping for a new place. So Willis, tell everybody the best way to get a hold of you. Like, what's if they're ready to get started, they're ready to get shopping, get pre-approved.
Yeah, the best way is to give us a call. Our number is 817-776-4948, or you can go to our website, www.mypurefunding.com.
And that's the easiest. You can just look at the screen here.
Yeah.
But don't forget to check us out on our social media channels. We're on the YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and also the What You Talking About Willis series on TikTok.
See y'all.
Thanks.